Hey everyone, welcome to Shifty's Club. Today I'm going to talk about the new setup that we got. And now that I've had enough time to explore some of the stuff that we got in the format, let's talk about the good things that we got coming for us. Well, we really only got three options: Curum, however you want to say it, Durant, and In. Very complex card, In. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the two cards that are just regularly spread pop cards, and the one that, in my opinion, is being overhyped. So here we go. In is pretty simple. It's another Professor Oak's new theory, early game, or one of those disruption cards. Either way you want to put it. So, say at the start of the game you throw an In, force your opponent to reshuffle. You get to reshuffle after playing all your cards, and draw to the many prizes did you have down. Pretty simple. Durant, great deck overall. Just one metal energy and discard the top how many ever cards of your opponent's deck equal the number of Durant you have in play, which is pretty brutal for them to try to set up, because seeing how you're discarding some important stuff beforehand, it's really going to hurt your opponent. So that's really why I don't want to see this deck around too much. But I have a feeling that I'm going to see it in at least half the cities ride that I go to in North Georgia. I know they have a Georgia Cities Marathon, but I only get to go to the last four probably because it's up north, and that's where I live, North Georgia. So I might as well just point that out, that Durant's going to be a great deck. It's I don't know how to say it. It's not overhyped whatsoever. I'll give it that. Another thing about Durant is that I have tested and tested and tested, and there is almost no possible way of getting around Durant with the exception of ZPTS or ZPZS. And that depends. Do you want to use Tornadus or Zapdos as the partner? And, you know, I don't like running metagame, but if I have to, I will. Zekrom, Patrice's Shaman variants, not really what I want to run, because it's not really the best deck out there. Durant's not really the best deck out there. And as you guys know, I'm going to run what I think is the best deck. That could be the Porygonzi with 4 Claydol, like I had before. I honestly thought it was the best deck. I set up too fast for my opponent and destroyed him. But sometimes the trainer lock killed me, and that's why I had Porygon 2 for download, to abuse my supporters so I wouldn't have to use the trainers. But again, I had to attach them to Porygon Z, and that's kind of where I screwed up. And I did tech in the one great encounters Porygon Z, but all he did is reversal, flip, and miraculously get heads, and then counter it with a Donphan. So that's basically how that deck got destroyed. And in my own opinion, Worlds, the best deck in my opinion would have been Donphan Machamp. And the only reason to say that is because if you look at what was all popular, if you run the right cards to set up pretty fast and just dominate your opponent, you would have seen that Donphan Machamp, if ran right, would have totally destroyed Worlds, maybe Nationals. Because, I mean, look, we had a variety of decks that no one really knew about. So let's get to Curum. Last but not least, we have the third dragon. So, however you want to say it, Curum's here. Now let's talk about the best deck that you use Curum in would be Donphan and Dragons, which I honestly thought I came up with because I was like, Dungeons and Dragons, Donphans and Dragons, it sounds pretty cool, right? Well, it turns out that I didn't really come up with a deck. I thought of it on my own, but I didn't come up with a deck. That sucked. Now, to tell you all the truth, the deck is probably the best variant that includes Curum with at least 4 copies that I've found so far. A 3-3 or a 4-4 Donphan. I used a 4-4, 4 Reshiram, 4 Zekrom, 4 Curum. It worked pretty good. 24 Pokemon in the deck. not too big of a struggle. But again, you are looking at what we call a great deck that sets up by putting damage on your bench and taking 1 for 60 prizes with an exoskeleton every single turn. Plus, you've got that new, what was it called? I don't think I've seen, oh yeah, Rocky Helmet. We have never seen that before, especially the video game, have we? Okay, so how did we know in Japanese, if the translation was Rocky Helmet, we knew exactly what it was going to do. It was going to put damage on the defending Pokemon. Of course we knew it. The whole time we knew it. So, I'm just stressing that point, but let me just say it that way. That when you have stuff that's called something exactly like it's in the game, pretty much it's going to do almost the exact same thing. So, putting 2 more damage counters on the Pokemon that's attacking, you reduce your damage by 20, but add 20 to them. That's adding even more damage with a Don Fan. Include your defenders and the occasional plus power, junk arms, and even my recycles. I only had 2, but I did have recycle just for that one little part where you might need a few, like 1 supporter back or 1 Pokemon. You could use it in Item Finder and try to get that one that you need back. So either way, the choice is there's no card other than recycle that can get it. But I did try it. But anyway, that's across the point. Donphan Dragon seemed to be the best deck. The second best was probably Kyurem and Feraligatr. And Feraligatr just basically attaches to Kyurem, gets 3 on each of them, so they can just do their attack. And then includes the Solrock and Lunatone, 2 of each, so they can guarantee you're going to pair them on the bench and you can't heal. Or you take your time to put up a Bronzong with Fortry. No, you're not going to do it. Not unless you've got a Metagross sitting there or some way to free retreat that Bronzong, which is not going to happen. Because I know you're not going to set 2 Dodrio, a Bronzong, and 2 more Kyurem along with a Feraligatr. Because you'll want 3 or 4 Kyurem, not just 1 or 2. So, Solrock Lunatone is usually the best option because they both have 1 retreat cost, and you can always do that. Feraligatr, let's see. Oh, I got 1 energy. That's just a free anyway. Boom, right back up. Or I could get it back out with the revive, put it back on the bench. So Kyurem Feraligator's not that bad. So, but it really does give the Reshis run for their money as far as the Reshiflosion, Reshibor, and even a new little upcoming popular deck. But let me just say, let you guys wait. This is, well, I might as well go ahead and tell you anyway, because, you know, it's not really too good. But anyway, I had tested out this one deck, and you guys will never try to test it. You will doubt it for the rest of your life. You'll say I'm stupid or something crazy to that effect. But I had this really weird deck, and unless you really understood and tested it, it's like a Ross's deck, except it doesn't move and heal. It's like one of those I don't understand until you test 50 times. Oh, okay, now I understand. It's one of those decks. And the deck is Reshiram, Mega, Bannet, Blissey, and does have a Feraligatr. You don't understand that one bit, do you? Feraligator's a tech, though. Yeah, I didn't think you understood that one bit. But, yeah, don't even go try it out. I ended up losing 3 battles in 20 battles. So I won 17, lost 3. So it's not really worth it because I lost 3. But I do have better decks like Muck Metagross that won 502 games in a row online before I finally lost a game. You know those stories. And that's basically where it goes off, because if you mismatch the right cards, it really doesn't work, and that's where Kyurem has to be very careful about its place in a deck, such as say you use Kyurem and Blastoise Floatzel. Say you use something like that. This way to where you can spread, snipe, or hit. And say you were playing against mine, and this is actually a pretty good deck. Say you're playing against my Slowbro Gardevoir. I know I say it kind of crazy, but say it's the new Gardevoir coming out in the next Destiny set, which is the one that basically lets you let your psychics be 2 psychic. Just say that. I had the deck coming up. I had 3 psychic on. That's 6 psychic. That's 150 damage I'm doing. That's 3 psychic energy on a Slowbro. Alright? And it acts like 6. And I'm stalling on you, and I'm getting ready to pound you in the face. I got a Mewtwo EX lined up right behind me, ready to take you on. Now, how are you going to prepare for something like that? Well, the best way is to use Blastoise and go through with Floatzel. So, would you rather have Feraligatr or Blastoise Floatzel? Because you only got that one option, no heal, something like that. Sometimes Kyurem Feraligatr is not the best, and that's why I think Donphan and Dragons really would be better, because Kyurem Feraligatr is a little overhyped for some reason. I don't know. I mean, it's not hyped, period, but it's overhyped, not being hyped, if you know what I mean. It's terrible, in my opinion, because it's the second best deck, and I don't really see another Kyurem deck that's gonna win. That's my honest opinion. And I've entitled to my opinion, of course. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you want, submit your comments in the comment section down below. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe. But before we go, I just want to talk about one last thing. My city championship deck. Now, you all have probably heard going around that I have this really cool Secret Rogue deck. Now, I am missing 23 cards from that deck. And no, I'm not going to post online all the cards that I'm missing, because pretty much I'd be giving you the deck. I'd be giving the deck away. And then everyone would be testing it to see what it does or what it's worth. And then I'd see about 50% of the people there with it like, oh my god, this deck is so good! So if I don't have all the cards by then, I won't be running it. But hopefully I can get them from, get some of them from Troll and Toad. A few of them's from the Noble Victories, which I'll have no trouble getting from. But I thought I'd go ahead and say that if I'm not there with the big rogue deck, you know, just running around, then it's obviously because I couldn't get it out. Not in time anyway. So, just to let you know, if you don't see me with that deck just running around at the North Georgia Cities Marathon, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find all the cards for the deck. So, I'll leave you with that thought. And I'll see you next time at Shifty's Club.